We're back. Where have we been? Oh, goodness. Let me start off by saying we're headed up to the land now. Fingers crossed. It's very, very smoky up here. We haven't been able to access the land in a couple of weeks. One, we had an infestation of biting midges. If anyone is familiar with those, they're also commonly known as no-see-ums in the south. And the land was completely infested with them. Spray, but because I want to keep the land as organic as possible, I really don't want to put chemical on the ground or anything like that. We did have to. And the strange thing is we have no standing water whatsoever on our land. So where they're coming from, we have yet to figure that out. I still have scabs and bite marks from the last time I was up there. They tore me up. I got that sweet blood, so they love me. But anyways, we're headed up there, and I am concerned because we do have so much smoke in the air. Not far from where I'm at right now, we had 3 firefighters killed right here on the Utah-Colorado state line. And that's just heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking. When we get up there, I'll do some video, and we still got to finish up the 500-gallon cistern. We are racing to do that because it is extremely hot here, like it is all across the country. It is very hot here, but it's also extremely dry. So fires are, I think we have 3 fires around our area, and if I remember correctly, they're trying to merge, which is pretty scary. So yeah, I can't even see. I can barely see the mountains in my rear view mirror. I can barely see the mountains, and it's really scary. Well, Carrie made it up about, I don't know, an hour after I did or so. And he brought all of our stuff, tools and piping and all the stuff we're going to need to get some of these chores done this week.
Are you holding on? So I had some gravel left over once I got the field lines installed and put in. I got my gravel bed down there. I had quite a bit of gravel left, which I knew I would, but my plan was to actually put some out around the parking area in front of the camper, help cut down on some of the dust. And as windy as it is, yesterday and today, it's actually helped quite a bit. You can see a little bit of dust on it, but nothing like what it typically is. Coming up from the west, usually there's just dust everywhere. So it has helped some. Eventually, we'll get some road base in, get the road base put in all the way out to the road, and then get some gravel on top of it, get it compacted. It's going to be a little farther down the road, one step at a time, one day at a time. Well, I hadn't been able to get much done around here the last couple of weeks. So last week when I came up, nothing was going right. I wanted to plumb in my cistern for the camper, and I wanted to build some stands for solar panels. The plumbing company had about a third of what I needed. So, and I was going to use PVC to make the stands also. So that didn't really work out. Got to the land, and when I got up here, the gnats were absolutely horrible. Typically bugs don't bother me too much. Now, my wife, they gnaw on her like she's a buffet, but me, typically not so much. Last week, and really it started the week prior, I noticed that they were kind of bad. They didn't bother me too bad last week, and they like to killed me. So that was another issue. And then my generator that we use to charge up the camper and kind of keep everything topped off started blowing out white smoke. Not running good, and it was just one thing after another, and it was just kind of a complete disaster. So we ended up she went home that day, and I stayed that night and the next day so I could get a few little things done here and there. So I did get a battery charger hooked up to the battery for my water reservoir pump that supplies water to the camper, and just a few small odds and ends. But came up this week. Yesterday I found another generator. It's on Marketplace. It's about a year old, bigger than what I had before. Drove about an hour and a half, went and checked it out. It's a good deal, good generator. So I bought it and brought it back up here. But when I got here, this is kind of how it's been since I got here yesterday. We did get, yesterday afternoon, I did get some rain, probably about 30-40 minutes after I got here. And then the wind's been blowing crazy like this all afternoon, all night, and all day today so far. So, and it's 12:30. Really not getting a whole lot done today either, I don't guess. A few little things. I got to try to find some clamps. I got one hose on my water pump system that's leaking a little bit. I'm gonna replace that clamp and probably put some gravel down where my generator is. Now I did get some gravel down around the camper, which completely helped eliminate a lot of the dust that we typically get blowing through here. So that was probably the biggest positive out of everything the last 2 weeks. So I don't know. See what I can get done today. Maybe productive. Probably not. So this is the new generator that I got. Well, new to me anyways. Guy I bought it from said he bought it last summer. He has some property in Pagosa Springs. They were installing solar on their mini houses, and he used it during the summer until they got everything set up. And of course he winterized it and put it in his storage building, had it there. They weren't going to use it anymore, so he put it on Marketplace. This is 10,000 starting watts, 8,000 running. The Champion that I was using was, I think it was 5,500 watts, I think. But it looked very similar to this. What I do like is my other one was dual fuel also, but this one does have the electric start, and it's also got a pull start on the side. In case something happened with the battery, you can still use it. Quietness, It's not too bad. It's about the same as my old generator. But you know, this one's substantially larger, so hopefully it'll last us a little bit longer. I am going to put some gravel down around it, probably 2 or 3 feet all the way around it, just to kind of help keep any dust and stuff like that off of it. And then I do have a cover for it, so I'll keep it covered whenever we're not using it. So far, you know, the generators we use less because we've got more solar options now that are kind of keeping everything charged and topped off. Of course, when it's real hot like today and it's bad out, you can't do much. You know, being inside's a little tough because it gets pretty toasty. So I can turn this on, charge everything, top everything off, and run the air conditioner for a little while to cool it down, then shut it off, and make the best of the day that I got.
And of course, these fires and the heavy smoke is pushing all the wildlife and our wild horses into more populated areas, which you normally wouldn't see them. So this is the most western part of the property. You can see it's pretty much blotted out the sun on and off all day. Boy, I sure pray for those that are directly affected by this. It's pretty scary.
Until 4 o'clock today, you might not really notice it that much, but those tiny particles that the smoke carries can get into your lungs. It can cause health concerns. So just try to limit the amount of time and exertion, especially that you are putting forth outside.
This is crazy. It's not fun, not cool. I come up, but you know, come up here and I have a lot of plans and things that I want to get done, and it seems like the last 2, maybe 3 weeks, everything's working against me. I still get a few things done, but not on the level that I really like to. And when you're trying to work outside, and, you know, damn, it's just like last 2 weeks, there's always something working against you. But got to go back to work tomorrow. Maybe next week could be a different story. So yeah, it almost feels defeating, but maybe there's a reason for it.
We have a number of them operating here in Pueblo County, but they're also hitting the other fires. We have 6 single-engine air tankers deployed here in Colorado, 15 Type 1 helicopters deployed, and that includes the 2 Colorado Division of Fire Protection and Control Firehawk helicopters. We have 5 Type 2 helicopters operating here, 7 Type 3 helicopters, 6 air attack platforms, and 2 Pilates PC-12 intelligence aircraft, multi-mission aircraft that are operating all in Colorado. So we are getting and have and deploying the aerial resources we need. Again, the main thing we're tracking is the wind conditions and safety to operate. On the first day of this fire, they were not able to operate. That was a day of 100-mile gusts. They are operating today. You've probably seen them flying overhead.
Here we're trying to build a solar stand for all of our solar panels that have been pretty much on the ground. We're going to get them up off the ground. And we wanted something lightweight that I could move myself around to capture the sun as needed. So with our in-ground septic system finally covered, I think it's probably time we can move on to other things. The fire and the smoke is still kind of keeping us at a minimum of things we can do. So it's probably time that we start having a little bit of fun. Hi, buddy. Hey. Look at that.
That's actually elk right there.
Yeah. So the light you're seeing is Monticello, and it's gorgeous. Look at that. That's the Abajo mountain range. So beautiful.